Hey there, friends. I'm coming to you from a little bit different place that obviously you're used to see me in. This is Iowa. I'm on the banks of the King Skunk River. This is I'll show you here in a second. This is a mill to my back left over here. Pretty cool little spillway right here that I'll take you to see in a second. I wanted to drop a video real quick. I'm over here for GunCon, for John Patton and the Gun Collective. A lot of my very good friends out here in the industry that I don't get to see very often are here. We do have a gun panel today, actually 4 gun panels today. I'm on the first one, the Second Amendment panel. There are other panels, I think one on reloading. Another one I believe is on new YouTubers, up and comers or something like that. All interesting stuff, and I forget what the 4th one is, but all super interesting panels. Again, the first one is the Second Amendment one. I know that Jared from Guns and Gadgets will be on here. Anthony from Armed Scholar will be on. Eric Pratt from Gun Owners of America will be on the panel. So we'll be fielding questions from the audience that's here at GunCon, as well as, I believe, online. Stay tuned for posts either on X or wherever from me. I'll let you know where you can see it. I know John always streams these things online. It's probably going to be on the Gun Collective's YouTube channel, but there may be other places too. I'll let you guys know. I wanted to drop this video real quick to talk about Chevron Deference real fast. We'll break this down in the studio next week, but I thought it was really important, and another small victory for the Second Amendment community. Actually, I say small. This is a huge victory in my opinion. Again, please understand that my page is not a quote news page. I think I've stressed that before. My page is more like an opinion ed page. Not that I'm equivalent to it, but my Second Amendment news comes from people like Jared over at Guns and Gadgets. That's a Second Amendment news channel. He disseminates the news, and in a lot of cases he'll break it down too, but he disseminates it. Where I like to give my opinion on stuff. Not that I'm likening myself to this guy, but Tucker Carlson, who I admire tremendously, but I look at my channel more like him. I give you my opinion. This is not a news channel. I take the news, I talk about the news, I break down the news, and hopefully sometimes I expose what the news is lying to you about. Chevron Deference, in my humble opinion, is huge. I think this is the second biggest thing to happen to the Second Amendment community since Bruin. I know this was not a Second Amendment case. This was more of a, this was the case, if you guys don't remember, back in 1984, there was a case that established Chevron Deference that was more involved with environmental, like the Department of Environmental Quality, things like that. So it was government mandates. It was essentially, if, I'm gonna oversimplify this to the point of sounding stupid, but this is the best way for me to communicate this without sounding stupider. If a judge assumes or makes the decision or determination during a court proceeding that a law is ambiguous, then they punt the ball to whatever government agency is supposed to be the quote expert in that case. What brought this case up is here recently, it was a fishing case. Again, you guys may have seen this on the news, where I think from Maine to North Carolina, you have to put a government inspector on private fishing vessels that go out in the Atlantic. The government mandates that you put this quote expert, fishing expert, on a boat full of actual fishing experts. And you have to pay for that. Not only do you pay for their way, their food, their lodging, but you pay for them to be on there through no care of your own. You don't need them there. They are not true experts. They're simply there as snitches is what they are. They were snitches. They call them experts, but they were there to oversee and make sure that from a conservation standpoint that there was not overfishing of particular species of fish and fishing areas. I can understand from a conservation standpoint how that works. However, like anything with the government, they take it too far. They implement strict regulations that do nothing but cost the industry that they're working in more and more and more money, right? Well, that's what this Supreme Court case was about, this particular industry, the fishing industry. However, it affects every single government bureaucracy out there, including the ATF, the FBI even, IRS, although who knows with the IRS. Those guys seem like stormtroopers to begin with, but certainly the ATF. So now when a court case comes up, let's say and judges can force the quote ambiguity label. A liberal judge could say this is an ambiguous law, just to have the ATF be the ruling body on that as far as being an expert, and say, well, we're going to take the ATF's opinion on this in this court case because they're the experts and I'm kicking the ball to them. Now, some of the conservative judges have done this too, but not on purpose. The liberal judges force that ambiguity test just to make sure that that agency has the ruling say on this, so to speak. The fact that we have this now, whenever there's a court case, and I don't care what it is regarding the ATF, now we could be looking at real, actual experts that are not directly tied to the ATF as having some kind of say. And also, this puts a little bit more of the onus back on the cowards in Congress to write better and more accurate laws. Not that I want them to be writing any laws, but they could be writing a Hearing Protection Act law right now. And let's say, and they'll never pass this, but let's say they passed a hearing protection law that outlawed the tax stamp required for suppressors. Well, if they did that and they did not write it good enough, like getting real experts in there to write this law for them, like everybody else does. Anti-gun laws are not written by members of Congress. They are written by the anti-gun groups, the Everytown for Crazy Moms. All those groups have lobbying arms and attorneys who write these bills, all the wording for these anti-gun bills, and give them to members of Congress. The members of Congress don't know anything about guns. They can't write anything like that. We've seen their knowledge. So the same thing could happen if we wrote a pro-2A bill. If it's not written correctly, a judge, especially a liberal judge, could kick that to the ATF and say, hey, this is an ambiguous law. Excuse me. Can you guys tell us what it means? And then they tell us what they want it to mean, not what it really means or what the actual intent was. This way now, by taking that away and not making those bureaucratic agencies who are not, these are the bottom of the barrel. They are not the experts in the industry. No one in the ATF was the top of their class anywhere except maybe the ATF. So now we're not going to rely on the bottom of the barrel to be the experts in trend setting and policy setting court cases anymore. This is big. We may not see headlines as a result of the dismantling of Chevron deference, but we are going to see results down the road of it. And I'm excited about it. I'm encouraged about it. I think it's a good thing. Let's see how it goes. I can't wait for the first case, even if it's a non-Second Amendment case. I can't wait for the first case to happen so that we can actually see what this does. Because this is a law that's, Chevron deference has been something that's been on the books for 40 years. So it's impacted a lot of stuff in our lifetime. So look to see some positive changes coming up. Again, I'm over here at GunCon. We are gonna have a live stream of panels today. The panel I'm on is first. Let me take you over here. This is I'm a nerd for scenery sometimes. I'm a nerd for going to other places and taking a look at it. If I drop my phone in there, you'll never see this video. So I guess it doesn't matter if I say, what if I drop my phone? But this is cool. This is an old, I guess that's called Wagaman Mill, Jasper County Conservation Board. And that's the spillover. Spillway, whatever you want to call it. So that's upstream, and that's downstream. A lot of wildlife over here, different things you see all over the place. 3 or 4 rabbits were playing up on the hill yesterday. This is the Brownells house that we're staying at, a really cool house up on that hill over there. But a beautiful place, man. This is a nice Iowa. You talk about God's country out here. Let me give you a shot on this bridge here. This is a bridge that I'm walking on. So that's looking further down the spillway, or past the spillway, I should say, of the King Skunk River. Again, this is the King Skunk River if you want to look at where we're at in Iowa. And that's upstream right there. Again, that's an old mill right there. So I imagine there was a lot of activity in this area right here many, many years ago. Really, really cool, beautiful area out here. Thank you guys for watching. As always, as you can see, this is a very unpolished video because I'm not in my studio and I do not have the luxury of all of my bells and whistles with me. Guys, hope to catch you on the GunCon live stream here in a little bit. I believe the first one is at 10 a.m. Central Time this morning. Thank you guys for watching.